What's up, Burnsman here, Burnsman.com, for the training log video with commentary. This is week 15 recap. Basically some stuff from the Arnold trip, a little bit is in here. This was technically from Thursday, my max effort stuff. Like I said, it was a combo day. This isn't some good squatting, is what it is. It's some pretty crappy squatting. I did 5 sets of 10 with 240. Which is just 2 plates on each side, and as you can see, I'm still really sitting in that left hip or that right hip. I'm kind of rotated around. I took some different views, kind of looking at things. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that still needs to get cleaned up. I'm still on the right path. I now know what I have to do. I just got to stay on top of it and you know, be consistent with it. I did think that as the sets went on, I got a little better. But it's still not that pretty. That right side of that bar is actually dipping because I'm sitting into that right hip, and so my left oblique can't fire correctly to let me sit into that left hip a little bit more like I need to be. And then that tightens my pec up a little bit, and that kind of lets the bar drop. And you know, the weight's moving effortlessly, which is nice. But it's just a matter of sitting into that right hip and kind of rotating around a little bit. Now, I've always kind of done this ever since I can remember of me squatting, but it's just progressively have gotten worse, and now I'm basically trying to backtrack and fix it, which if I would have probably got on top of this, you know, years ago, which we kind of discovered it then, but if I would have stayed on top of some things, maybe that would have been the case. Did some sumo pulling, working on the hook grip, 245 for 5 sets of 10. This is the last week of sets of 10. The reps will be dropping. I'm going to keep the sets of 5 for right now. But I wanted to get up to about the 50% range and see how things felt. So at least that's progress, and I'm at 50% with no pain and no issues. But I shouldn't say no issues, but there's no major issues at hand, at least in terms of structurally how I'm feeling. I just need to fix the bad movement patterns now to prevent having all this stuff happen again. So I'm just going to ease into it. Benching right now is my bread and butter. So running with some one board work against 2 chains, hit 275 for a triple, which ended up being a PR, or maybe it was 285, I'm sorry, 285 for a triple, which was a PR. Felt rather good about that. It might have had 5 or 10 pounds of me, who knows, but did some back down work. Some pretty good overload for me, you know, letting me handle at least about 310 or so. Maybe even 320 in my hands for some reps, and some close grip one board work to keep addressing that, and I believe this was a rep PR as well. So some rather good work on the bench press is still happening, which that kind of should be, considering I can't squat and pull as heavy, so my recovery is a little better. Then on the dynamic day, again, this was the Tuesday before that squat and pull day that you saw, so my days are a little mixed up, but things have shifted around. You know, just some regular speed squats, 12 doubles, less than 30 seconds of rest, with some monster mini bands up to 115. A thing I am noticing though with that rotation, well, you can't see it in this video, box squats seem to feel better, and I think that's because when I have an object to sit to, my hips stay rather square. I don't have to sit into that hip as much, or at least I'm not sitting as far into that hip, and that's keeping things rather pain-free. So maybe I might have to be a box squatter, you know, much more than I would like to be, until, you know, meets and stuff get rolling around, just to stay healthy and keep my hips strong, and then slowly pull that box away as meets come up. You know, I don't really know what the future is going to hold with that, but I just know that whatever I've had happen to my back, I don't want to have that happen again. It's not anything, you know, catastrophic, but it's a huge hiccup in the road that sucks, and it's taught me a lot, at least about training in at least my own body. So that's a slight caveat, I guess, for you. But box squats look pretty good. Speed pulls, again, still working on the hook grip. Up the band tension a little bit this week. So the way my band tension thing's set up, I can put up to 4 bands across it with 1 mini band, and that basically gives me about 25 pounds per band. So we're up to 3 bands on each side, so we got about 75 pounds of band tension, and then 155 pounds of bar weight for 10 singles. Pretty smooth. I would like to see my shoulders back a little bit more, but I think that some of the hook grip throw me off. because my pull does feel drastically shorter, but it also feels a lot smoother. So I do think that using the hook grip is going to help solve a lot of the back problems because I'm not going to have that rotation. Then my speed bench work was at Friday night at Elitefts after the Elite Day at the Arnold XBCs. Got in there and did some of the huge training thing that we kind of raffled off or whatever. Some Swiss bar speed bench stuff with a plate and jack. Pretty much this felt pretty good, but I'm on a different bench and brand new bands, so the band tension was a little bit heavier than what I'm used to and what I'm training with. And I realized that whenever I tried to go to do my top set, I was like, I wanted to do about 175 for my set of 8 or whatever it was that I was planning on doing. Yeah, set of 8. And I got to 5, and I said, there's no way I'm going to get Trey gave me the lift off, and I was like, there's no way after like rep 3, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get 8. Let's just get 5 or 6 and get what we can, and when we get back home next week, we'll try to go for a PR. So a little bit heavier tricep work than normal, and then some rep effort work. I just kept the plate on and just repped it out. I knew since the band tension was off, there's no reason for me to try to track a PR like I had been doing with sets of 20. So knock this out. That's all I've got. Thanks for checking in. Keep my stuff over at elitefts.com.